My false lemon sunscreen and bug repellent. This is going to be a concentrate, and I'm going to decant it two different ways. I'd like to do a thicker decantation, probably with an additional amount of coconut oil and pretty much straight concentrate, maybe 50-50 or something. That might be one decantation. The other decantation is going to be in a spray, and I'll use maybe 25% of the concentrate or less maybe, and the rest of it will be witch hazel or some other thin thing that will evaporate. I'd like to get some grain alcohol, even if it was poisoned, for these, so it will evaporate faster. Anyway, I'll probably end up using the witch hazel for like 75% to make a spray for a spray on. That's kind of convenient sometimes. It's just going to be a zinc oxide based sun repellent. I've never made this before, so this is a new experiment for me. I was starting with two ingredients, basically the zinc oxide and something to put it in. And then I started looking around going, well, it'd be nice to put in some glycerin and jojoba oil. That was my first choices. I found that jojoba oil I was missing from my other, throw some of that in my shampoo. My shampoo concentrate still needs more of a detergent action, even though I've already spiced it up once. Update there. Anyways, I ended up thinking, well, this, that, and the other, and I looked up some recipes online and for inspiration. I'm not really following them. I've got the salt left from this mineral, Dead Sea mineral salt left from my last thing. I'm going to put just a little bit of that in there, help make it more soluble. Salt will make, of course this isn't table salt, this is mostly other minerals. Salts tend to make oils and waxes more miscible in water. I'm saying that right. And so that's not a whole lot. I don't really want a lot in here. It's maybe half a teaspoon. I'll call it half a teaspoon. And I'm only making this much concentrate because this is going to be an experiment. And I'm going to keep going. I'll put what I put in here and I'll come back. By the way, why false lemon? Because I've got several lemon ingredients in here, well, a few lemon ingredients in here that aren't really lemon. Now, I need to talk about citrus oils in the sun. Citrus oils in the sun in general are a bad deal. They have a photosensitive reaction that causes burning and even blistering of skin because they change chemical in the sun. They kind of darken and change it to something that's kind of nasty to your skin. And it's common of most citrus oils. I've got this bergamot, which is a citrus. I'm going to put it in just for smell. But you see it's BP free or bergamotine free. That's the chemical that is photosensitive in bergamot oil. So it's removed from this, so it's not going to be photosensitive. And the other lemons I got, eucalyptus is not really lemon, but it's lemon eucalyptus. And I couldn't see anything about that being photosensitive. A little bit of lavender, I don't see anything about that being photosensitive. And cedarwood, I should look them up. I don't know if I can put cedarwood in there or not, maybe just a little tiny bit. And what is this? Tea tree lemon. This is the other lemon, false lemon. So the bergamot is kind of a citrus, but it's processed, and the other two lemons are not really citrus, just citrusy. So those are going to go in. Right now I've got all the oily ingredients in the big ones anyway. And this was the vitamin E. You can buy in quantity at these cosmetic places. I'm going to try another company pretty soon. Well, I'll get to that when I get to it. This is PEG 40. That's got to go in yet. It's like a heavy grease. It's just another oil. It's hydrogenated castor oil. It's an emulsifier. And here's the zinc oxide. I'll come back on that. I think I'm going to put a tablespoon in this concentrate. Maybe a little more. So this is how it stands right now. I'm only about half full, so I'm going to edit my carrier oil, put a lot more carrier oil in. I'm probably going to put a little olive oil, probably virgin olive oil for part of that. And then the other part of the oil that I need to add for carrier oil will probably be more of the argan oil. Is it arnica or argan? I'll have to look. Free advertisement for Bic. The first brand of markers, dry erase markers I found that were worth a squat. After many disappointments, even with the other big brand, Expo. And it only took a few shakes, it blended right up. It's really, it's got to settle down the glass there, but it really went to solution quickly. Probably because the PEG 40 is an emulsifier, the salt's an emulsifier, the salt, the PEG 40, even some of the sharper oils all act kind of like an emulsifier, since I'm just putting greasy and oily things together, so they blended really fast, real easy. And here's my final ingredients list. I made my last two modifications in purple to stand out. Fluid ounces instead of tablespoon or whatever. And 1 fluid ounce of olive oil, extra virgin. So there's my final product. It's nice and thick. Of course it should be. It's going to have to block light, so it's doing a pretty good job already. That's why it's so milky and staining the bottle milky. Probably a low SPF, depending on how you put it on. If you put it on thick, it's going to do pretty well. If you rub it real thin, it's going to be less. And this is a concentrate. I should write that on top, actually. I put away the Sharpie because I keep marking on the board with my Sharpie. Whenever I get a Sharpie near the board, I always end up marking the board with a permanent marker. Not good. But this is concentrate. I'm going to decant it in a fluid type container. Probably 50% concentrate. And the rest will be probably witch hazel. Maybe some alcohol. And the other that I'm going to put in spray type containers, I'll be making, maybe 75 or more percent witch hazel or alcohol and or alcohol. And then, maybe 25% or less of the concentrate for this type of container. Because otherwise it's going to plug it up. It's got to be thin enough to pull through the pump. And this is all experimental, so we'll see how it goes. Any ideas or critiques or your own recipes I'd be interested in. That's the EVO I used. I was going to amp up my shampoo concentrate with even more. I already see I did. I shook it a little, but there was about this much of soap on top, that miracle stuff I use. Soap on top. So I see I already juiced it up, so I don't have room to put any jojoba oil in. Maybe I'll do it next time I decant. I want to add some jojoba oil to this and some more. So next time I work it down a little, I'll be adding jojoba oil and more detergent yet, I believe. The first decanting of my concentrate for sunscreen. You see, it does settle out pretty quickly. It's been sitting for about 15 minutes. It's starting to settle. The white will settle out. The zinc oxide will settle out. I see in this one the herbal ingredients have all gone to the top, and maybe a little bit of zinc settling in the bottom. At the middle is where I'm kind of surprised. I thought the witch hazel would blend in better. And this is concentrate. So this is about 60% witch hazel, which I hope will be thin enough to spray in the sprayer. And this other concentrate here is like 50% of the concentrate and 50% coconut oil, roughly, which comes in almost a paste. Although it's kind of warm today, so it's more liquid than pasty. And this is a solution I'll just dab directly on my skin, my nose, and everything else. Probably try this out tomorrow. I'll use all my natural stuff for a change instead of the fake stuff, instead of the commercial stuff, and see if I come out burnt or not. Had an end of a day of canoeing.